Deion Sanders Colorado Buffaloes faced a critical setback in their playoff push, falling to Kansas 37-21 at Arrowhead Stadium. The loss jeopardizes their Big 12 title hopes and college football playoff ambitions, leaving their postseason fate uncertain. Kansas dominated the game, scoring on all 7 possessions, with running back Devin Neal delivering an incredible performance. Neal racked up 207 rushing yards, 80 receiving yards, and 4 touchdowns, carrying the Jayhawks to their 3rd consecutive victory over a ranked opponent. In significant college football history, Kansas became the first team with a losing record to defeat 3 straight ranked teams. Colorado struggled early, falling into a 17-0 deficit by the second quarter. Despite 2 touchdowns from Travis Hunter, who tallied 125 receiving yards and kept his Heisman Trophy campaign alive, the Buffaloes couldn't close the gap. Shedeur Sanders completed 21 of 25 passes for 287 yards and 2 touchdowns, but faced heavy pressure, including a controversial moment when he appeared to shove an official, narrowly avoiding ejection. Kansas controlled the clock, holding possession for nearly 34 minutes. Their defense stifled Colorado's run game, limiting opportunities for a comeback. The Buffaloes were 0-for-2 on 4th down conversions, including a critical failure late in the 4th quarter that sealed their fate. The loss leaves Colorado tied with BYU, Arizona State, and Iowa State atop the Big 12 standings, each with a 6-2 conference record. Tiebreakers will determine who advances to the championship game, further complicating the Buffaloes' playoff hopes. Even a Big 12 title might not guarantee Colorado a playoff spot, given the competitiveness of other conference champions. Kansas quarterback Jalon Daniels contributed 143 passing yards and a touchdown, while kicker Tabor Allen added 3 field goals to Kansas' score. Meanwhile, Neal's senior day heroics electrified the home crowd of 56,470. His 4th quarter touchdown sealed the win, capping a nearly flawless offensive performance. Head coach Lance Leipold praised his team's resilience, highlighting Neal's leadership and the defense's ability to deter Colorado's explosive offense. For Colorado, the road ahead includes a must-win regular season finale against Oklahoma State. Despite the setback, Deion Sanders remains optimistic, emphasizing his team's growth throughout the season. Colorado still has a chance to clinch a Big 12 title, but it will need help from other results and a statement win in its final game to strengthen its playoff case. Kansas continued their streak of solid performances, commanding a 37-21 win over Colorado at Arrowhead Stadium. The Jayhawks capitalized on efficient offensive drives and dominant time of possession to secure their 3rd consecutive victory against a ranked opponent, making history as the first team with a losing record to achieve this feat. Devin Neal was the standout player, rushing for 207 yards and 3 touchdowns while adding 80 receiving yards and another score. His senior day performance set the tone for Kansas, which scored on all 7 possessions, including 3 field goals from Tabor Allen. The Jayhawks held the ball for over 33 minutes, leaving Colorado's offense limited opportunities. Colorado started sluggishly, falling into a 17-0 hole in the first half. Shedeur Sanders kept the Buffaloes competitive with 287 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 51-yard connection with Travis Hunter, who finished with 125 receiving yards. However, Colorado's defense struggled to contain Neal and the Kansas offense. Kansas quarterback Jalon Daniels contributed 143 passing yards and a touchdown, complementing Neal's ground game. A 47-yard Neal run and a series of methodical drives extended Kansas' lead. Despite a brief Colorado surge in the second quarter, the Jayhawks' clock management and consistent scoring sealed the win. The Buffaloes' playoff hopes are now in jeopardy. Tied with BYU, Arizona State, and Iowa State in the Big 12 standings. Colorado's path to the conference championship game is unclear, with tiebreaker scenarios likely coming into play. Even if they win their regular season finale against Oklahoma State, their playoff chances remain slim due to ranking limitations. Defensive lapses plagued Colorado, with missed tackles and failing to stop vital third down conversions. The team's inability to slow Kansas in critical moments, combined with a lackluster run game, proved costly. Sanders' near ejection after shoving an official also highlighted the Buffaloes' frustrations. Kansas head coach Lance Leipold praised his team's discipline and resilience. The Jayhawks' methodical approach frustrated Colorado, showcasing Leipold's impact since taking over in 2021. Despite their record, Neal's leadership on and off the field epitomized Kansas' determination to finish the season strong. The loss was a missed opportunity for Colorado to solidify their Big 12 standing. Head coach Deion Sanders remains optimistic, emphasizing the importance of their final game. However, this loss underscores the challenges of maintaining playoff relevance in a competitive conference. With playoff hopes dimmed, Colorado must regroup quickly to end their season on a high note. The Buffaloes' regular season finale against Oklahoma State will determine their postseason fate and whether they can overcome the adversity of this critical defeat. Colorado's Big 12 championship hopes remain alive, but the road to clinching a berth is filled with challenges. Tied with BYU for first place at 5-1 in league play, the Buffaloes control their destiny. Wins against Kansas and Oklahoma State, 3-7, in the next two games would guarantee them a spot in the title game. Alternatively, a victory against Kansas and losses by Arizona State and Iowa State, tied for second at 5-2, would secure their place today. The College Football Playoff, CFP, is also within reach for Colorado. The top 5 conference champions receive automatic berths, with 7 at-large teams filling the field. Colorado would qualify under the current structure if it wins its final 2 games and the Big 12 championship. As the 16th-ranked team, they'd likely move up significantly by winning the conference title. If they reach the top 4 conference champions, Colorado would earn a first-round bye and play in the CFP quarterfinals on December 31st or January 1st, potentially in the Fiesta or Sugar Bowls. However, a single loss could drop them out of contention, pushing them toward a non-playoff bowl like the Holiday or Alamo Bowl. Kansas could play a spoiler to Colorado's plans. Coming off back-to-back wins over ranked opponents, the Jayhawks have relied heavily on running back Devin Neal, who has posted 1,294 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns this season. Neal's ability to gash defenses, paired with quarterback Jalon Daniels' efficient passing, has kept Kansas competitive despite early season struggles. Shedeur Sanders leads the way for Colorado with 3,421 passing yards and 31 touchdowns. He'll aim to exploit a Kansas defense that has allowed over 28 points per game. Travis Hunter, Colorado's dynamic two-way player, is the X factor. Hunter has been a game-changer all season with 1,007 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns, alongside standout defensive performances. The Buffaloes' offensive line must protect Sanders against a Kansas pass rush featuring senior edge rusher Jeremy Robinson, who leads the Jayhawks with 10.5 sacks. Colorado's defense, anchored by linebacker LaVonta Bentley and cornerback Travis Hunter, faces the challenge of slowing down Neal and Daniels while avoiding costly mistakes. Special teams could also be pivotal. Colorado kicker Alejandro Mata has connected on 18-21 field goal attempts, while Kansas kicker Tabor Allen has made 14 of 15. Both teams may rely on their kickers in a tight contest. Off the field, the Buffaloes have made headlines. Head coach Deion Sanders celebrated Colorado superfan Peggy Copham's 100th birthday and debuted his new to-be talk show. Sanders also secured the commitment of Julian, Juju Lewis, a highly touted quarterback prospect. With Colorado in the national spotlight, expectations are high for the program's continued success. Historically, Colorado leads the series against Kansas, 42-25-3. However, Kansas won the most recent meeting in 2010, a 52-45 shootout. Today's game at Jayhawks Field at Arrowhead Stadium marks another chapter in this rivalry, with both teams fighting for postseason implications. Weather conditions in Kansas City are favorable, with temperatures in the high 50s and partly sunny skies. Winds from the south-southeast at 10 miles per hour are unlikely to significantly impact the passing games. The Buffaloes' path forward is clear: win and stay alive for both the Big 12 title and the CFP. But with Kansas playing spoiler and the stakes higher than ever, Colorado must deliver a near-flawless performance to keep its championship dreams intact.